There we go. Audio on, and we are screen sharing. So, if this is the first video you're watching, if you're just jumping into this because you want to know what an affirmative case is, I want you to pause and go find the video that talks about thinking about debate as a story. I think it's 001 is the number of the video. Um, because we're going to think about the affirmative as a story, and we're going to try to figure out what story is the affirmative telling. And then later on, we're going to look at the evidence and the structure of the arguments to help figure out how we're trying to tell that story to a judge. So if you haven't watched that video, I strongly suggest you do. Otherwise, this one won't really make very much sense. But assuming you've listened to that video, let's get into this one. So we're going to talk about what is the actual story of an affirmative case. Maybe you've looked at the evidence, maybe you haven't. But at the end of every debate, basically what you're trying to do is tell a story to a judge that if they vote for your plan, something will happen. So what is that story? How does it sound? We're going to get into that today. So the story of the affirmative case, we're going to talk about three different things. We're going to talk about what the core of your argument is, which is the plan, why you want the judge to pass your plan, and how passing the plan will solve problems or prevent problems. That's the basic story. So first off, what is a plan? So a plan is the actual law or action that the judge would vote for at the end of the debate. So ideally, at the end of your first debate, your judge will sit there, look at the arguments you made, look at the arguments your opponents made, and they'll either say, yes, I think it's a good idea to pass this plan, or they'll say, no, I don't think it's a good idea to pass this plan. And basically what they're saying is, yes, I think we should pass a law that does this, or no, I don't think we should pass a law that does this. Your plan probably starts off by saying something like, the United States federal government should, and then says a specific thing. So for this year, it's the year that this is being recorded in, is the United States federal government should pass a law prohibiting police officers from using or carrying firearms while on duty, something like that, right? In previous years, it's been something like United States federal government should substantially invest in space or Mars colonization, or United States federal government should substantially invest in the elementary education system, something like that, right? So it's saying there's this particular law or policy that should be passed. And then at the end of the debate, if the judge votes for you, they're saying, yes, we should pass this plan. So you should think of yourself and your opposing team basically as advisors to the president. And I don't mean President Trump or President Biden. I mean just like the president as a general office. So if the judge were president, you're basically their group of advisors, and you're saying, listen, here's all of our reasons why it'd be a good idea to pass this plan. And the other team is saying, no, 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 those aren't very good reasons. If you pass the plan, there'll be more problems. So at the end of every debate, the judge should be thinking about weighing these options against each other. If we pass the plan, what good will happen and what bad will happen? If we don't pass the plan, what good will happen and what bad will happen? And which one creates more good? Which one causes less bad things to happen? So how you get the judge to pass your plan, at the end of the debate, they'll look for the arguments on both sides, and they'll say, basically, do I pass the plan or not? Which one causes more harms and more goods? Therefore, you want to be able to identify specific real problems that your plan can solve right now, and that you can say to the judge, you know, there's a problem right now. If you pass my plan, we'll solve this problem. And if we solve this problem, the world will be a better place. Really basic stuff, right? So for example, let's take it away from the big policy law stuff and just do something more simple, because you actually do this every single day. You may just not realize that you are trying to get people to do things, pass things, change things, but maybe using a different system or using a different way to think about it. So for example, let's say it's almost dinner time and you're hungry. What's a plan that you can come up with to solve this problem? Well, one thing is you might go out to eat, right? You might ask your parents, hey, can we go to Taco Bell? Can we go to McDonald's? Can we go to this really nice restaurant? Can we go local restaurant, blah, 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 whatever. Can we go somewhere to get some food? Or you could say, let's get delivery. Let's have something delivered to us so we can have a nice meal here. Or you could ask your parents to help cook something for you, or cook something with them, or have them cook for you. Or you could just see what's in the fridge, just see what leftovers there are, make something, whip something up quick, super easy. So in all four of these options, you are giving a different plan to your parents or your guardians to help try to convince them to do something, right? You've identified a problem, which is that you're hungry. You come up with a solution or plan, these four things, and now you have to convince your parent or guardian to do it. Debate plans are essentially the same thing. They're just about more complicated issues, right? So you're saying there's a problem. Here's a thing we can do to solve the problem. And if we do, it'll make the world a better place. It's that easy. And as we get through the structure and the evidence, just keep in mind that all of that is just there to help you tell this story. And ultimately, the story is very, very easy. And it's a type of thing that you do every single day. So as we get further into it, it's going to get more complicated. But if you ever feel like you're lost or you don't really understand where we're going with this, just remember, you can always come back to this basic idea that you want to change something about the world and you think that change would be good and you want the judge to vote for it. Whereas if you're the negative, you say that thing you want change probably won't do very much, or it might actually cause more harm, so the judge shouldn't vote for it. That's all there is to it. Spend some time now, I think, with your coach or your partner. Talk through, do you understand how this story sounds? Do you understand basically what you're going for here? And then as we get into the next video about how the structure of the argument in debate helps tell the story, then we can get into the evidence and how the evidence helps through that structure. So things are going to get a little more complicated in the next video, but I actually think it'll be pretty easy for you to understand where we're going with this. So enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.